Good morning and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View this morning. It is Friday. Brendan Rodgers will speak to the media today, and it's a good day, isn't it? It's Friday and it's one day closer to the weekend. Well, a lot of people will be off today because it's Easter Friday, isn't it? This place just shuts down completely. Anyway, with the talk of contract extension being on the table and a new and improved one for Greg Taylor, it looks like Jeffrey Sloop will not be offered a contract at Celtic. And with Kieran Tierney returning back to the club, I can't see that Jeffrey Sloop would make a massive improvement to the squad, to be honest. It's fair play to the guy. He's 32-year-old. He's came into the club when we needed someone in that position as backup. People will say that, look, he's better than Greg Taylor. Other people will say Greg Taylor's better than him. Give me your thoughts in the comments section. Player of the Year voting. Player of the Year voting was touched on it last night. You can cast your votes by Men's Player of the Year, Women's Player of the Year, Men's Goal of the Season, Women's Goal of the Season, and Men Young's Player of the Year. The people that are up for Player of the Year nomination from Celtic are Casper Schmeichel, Alistair Johnston, Cameron Carter-Vickers, Callum McGregor, Rio Hatate, and Nico Kuhn and Dyson Maeda. I think when you look at the players that nominated, I think there's only one player that will get it. When talking about goal of the season, Callum McGregor is right up there. He's had some amount of goals this season from outside of the box. The first two goals from goal of the season are from Callum McGregor. One against Rangers, an absolute screamer. Everyone that Callum's hit, I think he's on about 8 this season, isn't he? Which is phenomenal for him. Adam Ida against St Johnstone. He's also up for nomination, which was a cracking goal in his own right. But I just think that, Adam Ida he does what any striker should do, and I don't see how that's got nominated for goal of the season. It was great play. It was great play from the team, and Adam Ida comes through the middle. Kuhn over RP Leipzig, that's another cracker. He comes in off the wing, and he does a James Forrest-esque type goal. Crosses the ball in, and it comes off the post and into the back of the net. When you look at that goal, that's what you expect Kuhn to do all season. The next one is Dyson Maeda. It was Dyson Maeda to show that game, but we didn't win against Rangers. We did that one. But anyway, Dyson Maeda, he's up for goal of the season as well. It's interesting just when you see the goals that are nominated. Who are you nominating? Are you nominating Callum McGregor, Adam Ida, Nico Kuhn, Dyson Maeda? Dyson Maeda's got 3 goals up for shout. Adam Ida has 2. Rio Hatate against Kilmarnock. That's got to be up there, isn't it? That Rio Hatate, or was it the Cameron Carter-Vickers one? I voted Cameron Carter-Vickers because it's a goal that isn't expected from a player. It's a goal that isn't expected from the player. And then you've got the women's goals of the season. And then you've got the young player of the season. Now, who's going to be your young player of the season? Is it Yang? Is it Paulo Bernardo? He's been injured quite a bit of the season. Is it Arne Engels? And people will say, wait a minute, Arne Engels for young player of the season? He's only 21-year-old. Or is it Adam Ida? When you look at the players that have been nominated for player of the season, you're thinking, wait a minute, you forget how young that this Celtic squad is. For me, all day long, I think Arne Engels will be nominated young player of the season, and that was my nomination. But anyway, tell me your thoughts in the comment section. Who gets your player of the year? And it'll be interesting to see how the voting goes for the young player, because Arne Engels in there, and Arne Engels gets a lot of stick because he's £11 million price tag, which I think is unjust. I think for a young lad that's come to a new country, a new way of living, and a completely different way of playing football, for certainly on a week-to-week basis, and he's had to adjust to that, and I think he's done quite well. But he still has his doubters out there within the Celtic fan base saying that he's never an £11 million player. But if he's not an £11 million player, Is he young player of the season? That'll throw the cat amongst the pigeons as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, with Greg Taylor being offered a new contract to Brendan Rodgers, will he tie up himself? Will the board wait till the end of the season and wait till we win at Hampden and then announce it? Because as we go into the summer, this will be the last summer that Brendan Rodgers officially has on this length 3-year contract that he has. And I think going into the summer, people at Celtic need to make a decision whether Brendan gets offered a new contract or not. I think that he will get offered a new contract and it'll be easy for him to accept it. But then again, if the board don't back him the way that they want, will Brendan Rodgers just hang off until the end of the current contract? Celtic up in the ante, as one article says about keeping Greg Taylor. Is that a good piece of business? At 27-year-old, he was set to leave under freedom of contract, but a new deal being placed on the table by Celtic, who also had Dynamo Zagreb leading the chase for the player. I don't think that going to Croatia is one of the better countries that he could have went to, and I think that it comes down to the fact that has Greg Taylor's agent been doing the job right? Or maybe Greg said, look, maybe my first choice is to stay at Celtic. We don't know. And this is why Celtic haven't been putting Greg Taylor out in front of the media, because they know the first question that will be getting asked. Have you signed for anyone yet? And it's as simple as that. You've been able to sign for anyone that you want in January. Has there been any interest from any clubs? That's the kind of questions that would get asked to him. But anyway, we move on from that. And Jeffrey Sloop, well, it looks like he'll be going on his way out the door. The team for the weekend, we spoke about that in yesterday's video. Going to do a team score prediction. I think Celtic are going to have a point to prove this weekend, and I think they're going to go out to Hampden and they're going to make it another glorious Hampden day in the sun. And I think it's going to be Celtic 3, St Johnstone 0, even though it's a little bit about it. St Johnstone are the home team at the stadium this weekend. So tell me what your thoughts are on the score lines potential this weekend. There will be a live tomorrow morning, Saturday morning, so make sure you're up early for that, and we'll get the excitement going for the little trip to Hampden. And I believe that everybody's been having issues with the stupid app. A lot of the bus conveners that I've been talking to, they've had big issues with people trying to get the app to work for Hampden. Is the digital, or my take on the whole digital ticket thing is all about track and trace. It is all about track and trace, so that if any pyro does get let off in Hampden, it's they know who to go and get. It's as simple as that. That's the only reason that they've brought in this digital ticket. It's an absolute nightmare for supporters clubs to try and arrange and do, but it is what it is. The power of the bees are trying to make sure that they can trace everyone that goes into Scottish football. Welcome to the world of Scottish football. On that note, have an absolutely fantastic Friday wherever you are, and God bless all the Celtic fans all around the world.